The rain had been falling for hours, cold, merciless, relentless. It wasn't just water pouring from the sky. It felt like every drop carried a memory of Daniel's failures, every splash echoing the weight he'd been carrying for months. The old wooden bridge beneath his feet trembled each time the thunder rolled. Streetlights flickered behind him, half swallowed by the storm. The world looked blurred, drowned, fading. Daniel didn't come here to admire the river. He came because he believed this bridge would be the last place he ever stood. Life had squeezed him dry. He had lost his job after the company downsized. He had lost his apartment when he couldn't keep up with rent. Friends who once called daily now avoided him like poverty was contagious. His phone had become a museum of unanswered messages. And worst of all, the one person he loved, Anna, had walked away, saying she couldn't carry his sadness anymore. He felt like a man God had forgotten. The storm felt like it agreed. Daniel's soaked jacket clung to him like a second skin as he gripped the railing. He whispered a confession that drowned in the rain. God, if you're still there, why does it feel like you left me? His voice cracked, fragile, barely audible. His fingers tightened around the cold metal. One more step, he murmured. One more step, and the pain ends. Thunder cracked, sharp and violent, as if the sky itself protested. Behind him, the world was empty. No cars passing, no strangers walking by. It was the kind of night that hid everything, the kind of night people disappeared into. Daniel exhaled a slow, painful breath and closed his eyes. Then, a voice, soft, gentle. Young man, don't. Daniel's eyes snapped open. He turned. Through the sheets of rain, an elderly man approached, hunched slightly, holding a tiny flashlight that somehow glowed steady despite the storm. The man's clothes were soaked, yet his face held a strange calmness, like he wasn't bothered by the cold or the wind. I've been looking for you, the old man said. Daniel frowned. What do you mean? Who are you? The stranger stepped closer, the beam of his small flashlight settling on Daniel's trembling hands. Son, God told me to come. Daniel blinked, rain mixing with the tears he refused to admit were falling. No, he didn't. God doesn't talk to me. Not anymore. The old man smiled, a soft, knowing smile. He never stopped. He just stopped listening. Lightning flashed behind them, carving their silhouettes into the night. The old man gently held Daniel's arm, not forcing him away from the edge, just grounding him. Do you know, the stranger continued, that God sends people at the exact moment we think it's over? You're not just seen, you're sought after. Daniel shook his head weakly. I have nothing left. The man lifted Daniel's chin with a single finger. You have breath. That's enough for God to start again. The words struck something deep, something Daniel thought had died months ago. Rain softened, not much, but enough. The old man slowly guided him away from the railing. They stood at the center of the bridge, the storm swirling around them like a dark orchestra. "How did you find me?" Daniel asked quietly. The man chuckled softly. "I didn't. God did. He nudged my heart tonight and said, 'Go to the bridge.' I didn't know why until now." Daniel swallowed. "Why me?" "Because you matter," the man answered simply. "Because even when you've lost everything, heaven hasn't lost you." For the first time that night, Daniel's knees weakened, not from despair, but from the sudden breaking of something heavy inside him. He sank to the ground, hands covering his face, sobbing into the storm. The old man sat beside him, letting the rain wash over them both like a baptism. Minutes passed, maybe more. The storm raged on, but something inside Daniel began to quiet. When he finally spoke again, his voice was small. What do I do now?" The old man stood and helped him up. "You go home. You rest. You let God carry what you can't. And tomorrow, you start again, one tiny step at a time." Daniel nodded, wiping his face. "Will things get better?" The old man's smile returned. "With God, they don't just get better, they get rebuilt." As Daniel walked away from the bridge, the old man stayed behind, flashlight glowing like a small star in the dark. Daniel turned once more to thank him, but the bridge was empty. No old man, no footsteps, no light, just rain. Daniel froze. A slow shiver moved through him that had nothing to do with cold. "God, was that you?" He didn't know, but he knew one thing. He was not supposed to die that night, and God made sure of it. 2 weeks later, Daniel got a call from a company he applied to months earlier. They wanted to hire him. A month later, he found a small affordable apartment, and slowly, with time, counseling, prayer, and patience, he rebuilt relationships and stability he thought were gone forever. He often returned to that bridge, not to fall, but to remember, because that night didn't just save him, it resurrected him.